So this last weekend I went to Comic-Con to see Carter Reynolds, Nash Greer, Hayes Greer, and Cameron Dallas. And it was an amazing experience, and I just want to share it with you guys. So basically, the first thing you do is you go to VIP registration. And at VIP registration, they'll give you your bag full of what you need for the day. They'll give you your 4 tickets for autograph signings, your photo op ticket, and then they'll give you 4 big posters and 4 little posters of each of them. And you want to get there super early because you want a good seat for Q&A, and you want to be in group 1 for autographs. So me and my friend, we got there 2 hours early because we wanted front row for the Q&A. And we got front row, but we got them off to the side. So, I mean, you could still see them really good. We just wanted front and center, but it wasn't too bad. And so we also got group 1 because we were there so early. And the group 1 is for, like, when you go to autograph signings, you don't want to be in group 2 because you have to wait, like, the whole day. And then you have to wait till after photo ops. And that's when, like, the boys are really tired and all that. So at Q&A, since we were there 2 hours early, we just kind of sat there and they were playing music and we were just sitting there for a while. And then all of a sudden, like, a guy from the show The Walking Dead, I don't remember who it was because I don't watch that show, but it was pretty cool. He just came up and then he took selfies with us and stuff. I don't know, that was pretty cool. So a guy came up on stage and he just told us the rules, and the rules were stay in your seat when they come out, and the whole time, like, you couldn't really stand up, I guess. And then he said no, like, running up to the stage and all that. So yeah. So as we're waiting, another guy just comes up on stage and he tells us that this one other guy has come up to announce them. So we're all, like, screaming, and it was crazy. So the guy comes up and then he announces the boys' names, basically. And first was Carter. And I literally didn't think the boys were real. Like, I wasn't, like, freaking out until I saw them. Like, I saw, like, when Carter came out on stage, I literally, like, dropped to the floor. I'm like, that is Carter Reynolds. He's right there. And so then they had Hayes come out, and then they had Cameron come out, and then they had Nash come out. And it was crazy. I was, like, in tears because I just couldn't function. I was like, oh my god, I see them, they're right there. So when they all were up on stage, everyone was going crazy. It was really loud, everyone was screaming. And then they had 2 lines in the back for people to ask questions, basically. I didn't ask a question because it was a really long line. I liked my spot because I was right in the front and I could see them. So I just listened to all these. And then, like, the boys want to do Truth or Dare, but they end up just doing Dare. But they didn't really do it. They just wanted Carter to do the lip gloss dance. But they all kind of did eventually. They all did the dance. And then they had some girls go on stage and do it with them. And I really wanted to go. But, like, they were kind of just picking people randomly. And I was like, oh, I really want to go. But I never got to. Also, during Q&A, there was a piano out on stage because the performer there was Kenny Holland. And they didn't announce him, like, at all. They wouldn't tell us who the special guest was. I knew who it was because my friends went to the hotel and they saw Kenny was there, and then they're like, yeah, he's a special guest. So I already knew that, but a lot of people probably didn't know Kenny was a special guest. But anyways, they had the piano out on the, like, stage, and Cameron started playing it, and he's really good. But then Carter started playing it, and I never knew Carter knew how to play the piano, but he's really, really good. And I can find my video. I'll put that in there. But yeah, Carter started playing, and then they announced Kenny out, and then Kenny sang 2 songs for us. And basically, after Q&A, we had to follow this security guard upstairs, and we had to, when we were upstairs, the group 1 tickets, they got to go get their autographs. And surprisingly, I was like, 1, 2, 3. I was 5th in line. That's where I was. So we're just waiting in the lines, and there's a bunch of people behind us. I don't know how I got 5th in line, but somehow I did. I don't know. And, like, they just came out, and then they sat down, and I'm looking right in front of me, and Hayes Greer is right in front of me. He's just right there, and I'm just like, that's Hayes right in front of me, okay? And then a little bit over, there's Nash, and then Carter, and then Cameron. I'm just like, I'm going to get to talk to them. I'm going to get to talk to them and meet them, and so I'm freaking out. So first of all, we have their tickets, and we have to hold so much stuff, like, in our bag. So I was carrying my bag. I had to get out my tickets, so I grabbed my Hayes ticket. I gave it to the lady that was taking tickets, and then I had to grab out my big Hayes poster. So I had him sign that, and then he wrote, like, Taylor, and then he wrote, like, a heart, and then he's like, I love you, beautiful, and then he wrote, like, a smiley face. And then we took a selfie, and then we kind of had to move on. So I went to Nash, and then Nash wrote, like, the same exact thing as Hayes, and then I took another selfie with Nash. Then we went to the other line, and then it was Carter Reynolds. And me and Carter talked for, I'd say, like, a good 3 to 3 minutes. So I'm just like, Carter, because I gave them all candy, like, I gave them all of them candy with my username and my phone number, hoping they would follow or call me, you know. But, like, so I gave Carter his candy, and he's like, thank you, and I was like, yeah. And then, I'm like, so do you normally follow people, like, who give you candy with their username? And he's like, yeah, most of the time I do. Like, sometimes, like, I mean, I get a lot, but I try to follow some of them that, like, I can follow. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I, like, turn to talk to my friend again, and then he, like, stops me, and he's like, yeah, like, this one time, there was a girl who gave me a poster with 200 names on it, and he's just like, I'm not gonna follow them because that's, like, so many names. And I was like, Carter's talking to me, what the heck? So me and Carter ended up taking 3 pictures because 2 of them were kind of dark, and then I just got really close to him and I took one, and it turned out really good. Like, I think me and Carter and me and Cameron, we have the best selfie together. Mine with Hayes and Nash turned out a little blurry, and I look really weird in them, but it's okay. I still like them. Then we go to Cameron's line, and I love Cameron so much. Like, okay, so I give him my thing, like, we have to give the ticket, obviously, and then I give him my poster, and he just is writing, and then the security guard for Cameron is like, okay, you gotta take the selfie while he's writing, so he's, like, literally writing, and then Cameron looks up, because he's, like, super nice, and so he looked up for my picture, and it looks really cute, and then I'm like, Cameron, I love you, and then I had to walk away, and he's like, I love you too, beautiful, and I'm like, oh my god. After that was over, I kind of, like, teared up a little bit because I was like, oh my god. Like, when you meet them, it's like you're talking to normal people. I mean, they're normal people, but not really. Like, they're not normal. They're famous. Like, but when you meet them, it's so normal. Like, you just are talking to them, and it's crazy. I don't know why. After that, we had, like, a couple hours and then the photo op started in, like, a couple hours. So we kind of just sat down. We wanted to be last in line for photo ops because I watched a couple videos that were just saying, like, that you want to get the last spot in line for photo ops. So we were just kind of waiting, and then we're like, okay, we should just get our spot in line. So we got a spot in line. We were in the middle, kind of, and the line took a while, but not, like, too long. Like, I'm sure it was, like, a 2-hour wait, our line was. So it wasn't bad, but it was 2 hours. So we're waiting in our line. We get in our room to go, like, take the photo ops. Like, there's like a loop, and then you get in the room to take your picture. So we're waiting in that line, and then we get in the room. I was the last one out of my group. We had 4 girls in my group. It was just me and my friends. And then we sat all of our stuff down on the table because you don't want, like, your bag in the picture and all that, whatever. And so I forgot to give Nash his candy because it was in the bottom of my bag and I couldn't really grab it in time. So I'm like, I'll just give it to him during photo ops. So I hand Nash his candy and he literally screams, Bae! And I'm like, Nash just called me Bae. Like, oh my god. And after that, they're all just, like, screaming and they're, like, having such a good time. And then I'm like, can we take a funny picture? So they're all just, like, and, like, in my picture, all their mouths are open. They're all just, like, and Hayes is just like, ah, it's so funny. And after photo ops is probably the saddest time ever. just because like it's all over and you know you're never really gonna get to meet them again. And so I walk out of the room and I just immediately break down and I start bawling my eyes out. I'm like, oh my god, you can't say anything to them in the photo op room because after you take your picture, you're done. Like, it sucks. But they give you this ticket and I was just freaking out like, oh my god, my picture turned out so bad. I know it turned out bad. I'm making the ugliest face. I'm just like, why did I stick my tongue out? Like, they literally give you 3 seconds. They take your picture and then you leave. They're like, okay, next. I'm like, no. And so my picture, I mean, it kind of turned out, I didn't like it, obviously, because the boys are in the picture, but I just don't look good in the picture, but I don't really care. So, like, they give you our ticket to go get your picture, because it takes a little bit for them to all print out and whatever, and so I get mine. I'm like, I don't know if I like this, and then I kind of, like, grew, I was like, okay, I like it now, and then take our pictures, and then we kind of just, me and my friend Taylor just left. But like before all of our like photo ops and all that stuff, like it was after our autograph signings, they had to come out of a room but the room was the bathroom actually, so they had to like somehow get into the bathroom and then they'd come on. There's girls just everywhere and they're all screaming. So there was only 2 that came out first, and it was Carter and Cameron. So I had my camera out and I was like, I got to touch Carter. I'm like, Carter, oh my god. And then Cameron, like the security guard was really close to Cameron, so I didn't really get to touch Cameron, but I was kind of sad. And like 15 minutes later or whatever, Hayes came out, but Nash never came out, so I don't know where Nash went, but he went somewhere. But Hayes came out like twice, I think, and I got to touch Hayes. And it was amazing because I love Hayes. But when you're out there, like, Will Greer is just walking around, Chad's walking around, and Kenny's just out there taking pictures. And you could go take pictures and videos with Kenny, Chad, Will, like, it was amazing. But I recommend to get VIP if you go, because I feel like if anyone, whoever probably got general admission, I feel like they wouldn't have a good time, just because when you're at Q&A, you have to sit all the way in the back of the room, and the room is pretty big, and you have to sit all the way in the back. And after Q&A, you can go upstairs, but you can't meet them. You can take pictures of Kenny and Chad and Will, but you can't meet the boys. You can't go to autographs, and you can't go to photo ops. So, I mean, I'd definitely get VIP if you want to meet them. And I really wish I can go to another one if they ever come back, or if they come somewhere close. I want to go to another one because now I know what to expect when I'm there, because like I didn't know what to expect. Like, do you get to talk to them a lot? Do you not get to? I didn't know what the photo ops were gonna be like. I didn't know how fast everything moved. But now, like, I was just thinking, like, if I didn't know I wouldn't see them again, I would have like kissed Cameron on the cheek really fast, or I would have hugged them really quick. And I don't know, I would have done stuff different. Just my luck, when they come to Minnesota, it's only 4 of them. And so now every time I get to go meet them, I have to spend, so I spend $175 on tickets to Comic-Con. And then you have to go to MagCon if you want to meet the rest of them. And I do. Then that's $160 for VIP. And then if Sean doesn't go to that, I am already going to the Sean concert. And I never got VIPs to meet him. So that's $50. But I could possibly go get Sean VIPs for my friend, but I really want to meet Sean. So yeah, it kind of sucks because whoever got to go to the first couple MagCons, I'm so jealous because they only had to pay $160 and they got to meet them all. So pretty jealous of those people. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about my Comic-Con experience, meeting Hayes, Cameron, Nash, and Carter, and Chad, and Will, and Kenny. And it was really fun. And I recommend you guys do it if you like those boys, because it was amazing. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys get to experience this because it was amazing. So, see you. Only you saw what I could see. You understand what I want you to.
What do I like about this photo? What do they say?
Just say, like? Angela, I like your sweatpants.
Angela, I think I like your sweatpants. I'm not sure, but is this a
Some people all about the dollar bill. It's quite a shame that ain't really how you ought to feel. It's all the same every day, how you gotta deal with all the pain, but in time it is gonna heal. We never change for anybody, that would just be insane. Light a flame, rock it back and forth, let me take you away with my words. I heard someone kicked it to the curb. Keep your head held high like you're chiefing on the herb. It's absurd, the way the dollar bill rules lives. Two types of people on this earth, who's right? One side's controlled by material things, others live for experience and everything it brings. I'm the king of the ladder, sing about what matters. At the ballpark with my friends, swing batter batter. Just another summer's day, watch the sun fade away. All I gotta say is we'll never trade away from it all, not a care in the world. Watch the sun hit the water as the waves curl.